lovely to be back. We've all had a rub down actually. We've got a whole parlour of masseurs next door, and we've had a nice rub down. And we're feeling much better for this part. And as a consequence of that, I am in fact Stamford Chidge. You thought I was going to forget, didn't you? And this, of course, is the Chelsea Football FanCast, and we're now having a look back to the game in midweek, which is the Champions League game against Galatasaray. Another game that I think beforehand we thought, could be a bit dicey and a bit tough. And guess what? Samuel Eto'o turned up within 5 minutes and basically put an end to any doubt that we had. And I mean, it really was game over. Again, the benefit of an early goal, We've said it so many times, haven't we?
They were also very poor.
They were poor?
Very poor.
They were very poor, Jonathan.
They didn't have a single shot on target.
Did they have a fishy in their little dishy?
Yeah.
When the board
comes in, they'll have a blutter.
Apparently, Samuel Eto'o, I've seen a lot of this on Twitter. I don't really understand it because I'm over 25, but apparently Samuel Eto'o is a boot.
You should understand that. That's his Cockney Roman slang.
Is it? Boat.
Boat race face.
He's a face?
Yeah.
As in a face? Like an ace face?
A legend.
Like a Don?
Good guy. Top bloke, whatever.
He's not a Richard, though.
No.
He's not a raspberry either, is he?
No.
I did get very bored on Twitter.
Callum, can you do me a favour? I know you're probably too cool to watch this show, but can I have a personal tutoring from you in all this slang? Because I don't understand.
What's a raspberry then?
I don't know. Let's not go there. It's probably very rude, isn't it?
On the subject of boats, Tim Rolls was in really good form with Arsenal, because obviously the away boys get their boat here, and on Saturday night he posted a picture of a sinking boat and made a jibe, and then the next morning said, Mertesacker got it and posted a picture of a donkey floating around a boat. So that was really good.
Oh, lovely stuff. But I mean, bless his heart, another early goal from Eto'o. I mean, I don't know, did we see a picture of that? I was too busy talking to Pablo to notice, actually, but, we got a lovely... We didn't... Can we see it? That would be nice. That's kind of what you're there for. There we go. No, not that one. The one where he actually scores the goal. That's when he's looking really happy because he's heard Jonathan say that he has a nice package. Oh, well, whenever you're ready, we'll just carry on. There we go!
I never said he had a nice package.
You did.
I said, look at that.
Yeah, I know. You were stunned, Jonathan. Look at that, though. That was a cracking goal. That really, really was. I mean, he... great movement, great pace where it mattered, and Bosch, he put it in.
What was the defender doing with his arms like that?
With his right foot this time.
No, I don't agree with that. I've been thinking about it. Honestly, I have. And I thought, actually, the keeper, the ball was kind of past him before he, well, it wasn't like Szczesny's muppet effort against Oscar. I just thought he hit it quite hard. And I thought
got a deflection as well.
Yeah, I don't think you can really blame the keeper for that. Anyway, I think we should have a look at Ross's ratings to see what the big man thought about it. And there we go. Now, I must point out here that Greg has informed me that I have spelt Galatasary wrong. And I had to point out to Greg that I've spelt it in the English version, not the Turkish. And the English one is without the A between the R and the Y at the end. So this is Galatasary, not Galatasaray. Okay?
Galatasary.
Yeah, well, this is Galatasary, isn't it? Because we're English.
Galatasary.
But that aside, Petr Cech got 6.
Once again, ridiculous.
He got 6 for turning up, mate. That's what you get for turning up. Ivanovic got 6.
Ridiculous.
Cahill got 8.
Yeah, good.
Terry got 8.
Yeah, good.
Azpilicueta.
Ridiculous.
He got 7.
It's at.
Cesar.
I'll just call him Dave.
Cesar got 7. I need them back. There we go. Thank you. Right. Lampard got 8. Oscar got 7. Ramirez got 6.
Yeah, 4. You should have had.
William got 6. Hazard got 8 and Eto'o got 8, and the subs, which were Schürrle, Torres and Callas, weren't really on long enough to warrant a mark. But again, I thought that actually Ross has got that pretty spot on. Apart from, hang on.
Yeah.
I thought JT and Cahill were immense.
Yeah,
but they didn't have a lot to do, so it's odd that he gave them 8 for this match.
And Cahill scored.
There's no consistency here.
Can we next week have Ross's ratings against Jonathan's ratings?
Yes.
Because all you're doing is having a pop at everything.
Yeah.
I'd be happy.
Put your money where your mouth is.
I'd be happy.
Put your numbers.
Yeah. The gauntlet's been thrown down.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm loving that. Yeah. All right. No, but I think Terry and Cahill actually deserved it because I thought they played really, really well.
I thought it was
every
good.
Week.
I agree with his ratings for the record. I'd say they were good.
I'll tell you what I disagree with though. I thought Ramirez had an absolute shocker.
A nightmare.
Excuse me. Thank you.
I'm just agreeing with you.
Well, you can agree more quietly.
Okay.
Silently would be even better. Ramirez had an absolute shocker. I mean, he had one of those games where he couldn't pass to a man in blue. you know, if his life depended on it. I mean, rubber, man, what is going on?
2 in a row as well.
Yeah. He got 2 marks higher than the Aston Villa game there, so not all bad.
Hey-ho, I thought Azam was brilliant, although he didn't really, you know, he's got to sort his finishing out. I thought Eto'o barnstorming again. But I think the main thing on here was that I thought Lampard had an absolutely superb game.
Great game.
Didn't he just? And I thought that, you know, we have a still of Lampard too, if you would care to have a look at that. But it's not really a very interesting one, actually. Yeah, well, okay. I mean, it's all right. It's lamps looking like lamps. I think the most important thing, though, to say about this is to say that he had a brilliant game. I thought he really dictated play, and I thought he, I thought he played really well defensively, and I thought his range of passing was really, really good. And it was really good to see him get in the box. But what occurred to me, and I thought this was worth having a natter about, is Frank now more suited to the pace of European football?
Or does he get knackered?
Well, you know, we all get knackered. But what do you think?
I think he's more suited to not having to frantically run around and press people. So I think he's more suited to playing at home than he is away or whatever now. I don't know. He's still quite clearly capable of doing a job in every situation, really. So I'm a bit.
I think he's found out when the tempo is bigger, is greater. And I think that's a very good point. I think in actual fact, it may be that because it's slower and they don't expect that to happen. I mean, the thing is, when we do go up a gear, is he capable of going up a gear? Like, would he have been able to play as quickly on Saturday in the?
Well, I mean, arguably he wouldn't have needed to because they were so horrific. But I was convinced that Mourinho wouldn't pick Lampard for the match against Arsenal because, you know, I thought, hang on, I think Mourinho's head, he's not really capable of playing 2 games a week. You know?
Yeah, I think he does.
I think actually, to be fair, I don't think it's because Mourinho's necessarily saying, well, Frank's an old man and he's past it. I think what he's saying is, actually, Frank's still a very important player for me, but I'm going to pick and choose when I'm going to play him.
As he's doing,
I'm going to look after him. I'm going to prolong his career, you know.
He's doing it with Eto'o as well. He didn't pick Eto'o for the Villa game, did he? Yeah,
exactly, you know. So, you know, I think we can trust that Mourinho still has faith in Frank. But I think he probably is more suited to it because I think the pace of the game in Europe is slower. You get more space and, you know... I think maybe that's a smart way to be using him moving forward. What do you reckon, Darren? What are the people up on Mixler and stuff say?
I was actually more interesting, like Davy saying that he thought the Turkish fans were brilliant at the bridge. They're still mainly talking about the Arsenal match, and I can't blame him for that.
No.
The atmosphere at the bridge is
let's just ignore them and let them all have their little love-in together, shall we? And we'll get on with the show, you know.
The only one of 3 can get involved, play it and pass it. That's what Nicky Kilda says.
Actually, that's a very good segue there. You said somebody mentioned Drogba.
I don't think I did. No, Pascal Poyes, Lampard was inspired in the team. He thought he was superb.
Well, I've just mentioned Drogba because at the end of the day, we really need to address the issue that the Drogba was back in town. And I have to say, I was a bit worried beforehand because there were some real mongs going around saying that they were going to applaud if he scored and they were going to basically spend all their time. No, you could applaud him before. And you applaud him afterwards, but on the for 90 minutes you're an enemy.
Well, applaud him at the point that it became clear.
They did. They already had the Didier Drogba chant came out when obviously were.
Interestingly, but I mean, interestingly enough, actually, they were so poor. He was also exceptionally poor. That actually there was never going to be an issue of any. If he'd have scored early doors, I think all bets would have been off. You know, but
he didn't look as if he was particularly up for it. Actually,
no. I mean, one of the funniest thing. Actually, I'd like to look at this. There you go. There's the Drogba banner. This is really near you, Darren, isn't it? Now, there's a story behind this. Didn't the Ukrainian fans make this or something?
You can see Steve in the picture above Always.
Can we have a look at it a bit longer? So there we go. Thank you.
Right above Always, it's him holding it in his black T-shirt on.
There he is.
And Jeremy is the guy on the other side of it. He's from Kansas City, the one-man army flag.
Jeremy, wherever you may be.
So he's one his hand in the air as well.
He's there, that's right.
But yeah, the Ukrainian supporters asked us if we could get it up. So we did.
And then you did get it up. That's what I like to see, Darren. But there you go. It's a lovely banner. I mean, I have to say, and it was lovely to see. Was it flying? I mean, I wasn't there annoyingly last week, but was it up there for most of the match?
No. What happened was this was before the match. We then put it to the back of the Matthew Harding up for the match, and then untied it again and draped it over afterwards. But Drogba, when he clapped the fans afterwards, I guess he went to Galatasaray supporters first. But then he only went back to halfway line and sort of rotated round clapping. So we didn't actually walk over to Matthew Harding's stands.
Now, the other thing, of course, talking of banners, this is why I've done 2 loads of fannies this week, because there were so many funny things that happened on Tuesday and on Saturday. But I think, again, one of the funniest things I've ever seen was Drogba, that free kick, where it sailed so far over the bar that it actually hit this Drogba banner up here. There you go. Now, Darren can explain, because actually, if you're watching this at home, and if you look at the bottom left of the screen, just above the R, go up 2 rows. There's a bloke in a white T-shirt. That's Darren. And to his right is his brother Steve.
No, yes, in my right, yes.
And what's really remarkable about this photograph is that both of them have got their mouths wide open. And there's a reason for that, because that's taken just after Drogba smacked the ball against that very banner, and they're so amazed that that's happening.
I don't know. I'd like to think we were both singing. But I don't actually know for sure if we were.
No, I think you were just.
If you just watch, you've got the picture on
flies,
there.
mate.
So to the left of me is my mother, and then 3 along to the right is my older brother Gary. So
who's that bloke in the middle there?
Guided tour of the Mantle family.
The one bloke up there in the grey coat. Any idea?
Andy Jacobs is up there as well at the back.
I don't know. There's a guy that looks like Dr. Mark, but I don't think he's actually.
Anyway, this is very boring for people who are listening on the radio.
Look in the red at the back there.
Who cares, Jonathan? Anyway, the bottom line is...
Chidge, I think you made that story up about Darren and his brother having their mouths open at that moment, because I think there's taken it anywhere in the 90 minutes.
They've actually usually got their mouths open.
Regardless, they're drooling, are they?
They've kind of got this infected look. That's classic Mantle look, isn't it?
I think we were singing there. I'm not too sure. I think we were singing.
You caught me doing that. I'm really embarrassed that you caught me doing that now. Anyway, the bottom line is, you know what? That Drogba free kick, which was utterly hilarious, totally appropriate. You know what that reminded me of? Another old hero striker of ours who came back to us. Jimmy Floyd. No, Jimmy Floyd. Before my time,
Derek Kevin.
Good grief. Jimmy Greaves, he'll be saying.
Gag.
Tommy Lawton, he'll be saying next. But no, when Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank came back, I think it was Middlesbrough he was playing with, and he did a free kick from pretty much the same position, and he hit it into row blooming Z, and we all laughed, and actually so did Jimmy. Bless his heart, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. And we were all going, Jimmy, what's the score? And we were beating Middlesbrough, and he was like, it was fun.
Oh, yeah,
you remember that? And it kind of reminded me of that, and I just thought...
It was always the case with Drogba free kicks, though, that if it didn't go in, it went...
But to hit his own banner, I mean, anybody would have thought he might have actually
been... his own banner.
Well, he could have been doing it deliberately, you know, but there you go. The other thing I really liked about the Drogba evening was the fact that Aspie absolutely mugged him. There was a wonderful attack down the right, and Aspie actually bullied him off the ball, and I thought, blimey, this kid's immense, isn't he? Mm-hmm. So he really, really was. But of course, the main event really was, at the end of the match when he did his own little kind of lap of honour. I mean, it was really lovely. It was heartwarming to see the Chelsea fans respond.
But also the lovely moment when JT hugged him.
Yeah, and they were all
fantastic.
Lovely.
There's great love there.
The long embrace.
Just going back to the fans, it's so rare to see that many people stay around for that long after the game.
Yeah, well, everybody wanted to say goodbye, and they had a chance to. And I'm gutted that I couldn't be there because I was working that day away from London, and that was a real match to be there to say goodbye properly to Drogba, because we wouldn't have otherwise had the chance. Now, I actually thought it was a really decent atmosphere at the game.
It was
fabulous.
Which is a bit unusual, isn't it?
Other than where I sit, of course.
Yeah, but unusual apart from where Jonathan sits, where it's always a morgue. But, it was actually a really good atmosphere. I heard it on the TV loud and clear. I wonder if it had something to do with the flags. Can we have a look at the beautiful flags? Because Pablo's responsible for these. Isn't that beautiful?
Just Pablo.
And Darren! Sorry, all right. God blimey, keep your knickers on.
They are great, guys.
Aren't they beautiful?
I can see myself above the Europa League in the white T-shirt again, by the way.
I need better glasses.
Is your mouth open?
That's how you would know. But aren't they beautiful? And I have a feeling that has a little bit to do with the atmosphere. Now, I've got some very, very special footage sent in by a very good friend of ours, actually, which shows the banners being unfurled. And I'm kind of putting this in specially for Darren and Pablo, because they might not have seen it quite like this. There we go. We'll roll VT, as they say. There we go. I think round of applause for Darren and Pablo and all the other lads who helped with that, and of course Mr. X for providing them. So there you go. I think they had a lot to do with the atmosphere. But I tell you what really annoyed me as somebody who was sitting at home being a bit of an armchair. I was on Twitter a lot, and there's all these idiots, particularly from Liverpool, saying, they can't even sell out for a Champions League game because they don't understand. Because of course Liverpool haven't actually been in the Champions League for years, so they wouldn't know. But basically, what happens is on a Champions League night is that UEFA technically own the ground, and they, for some reason, they can't take a single feed from the home broadcaster, which was ITV, I think, last week. Yes. Instead, they have to have loads more trucks, and of course, health and safety say that it impedes your egress out of the stadium. So they basically lop off the 10 rows right across the top of the Matthew Harding. Yep. I personally hate this because it means that I get moved. In fact, my ticket for PSG is in the shed upper as a result. So it's the lower and the upper tier that block off the back. It's an absolute disgrace, mate. It really is. But there you go. Anyway, look, talking of PSG, nice little bit of a linkage there. We've got them in the next round, and I think it's actually going to be. I mean, it's probably not a bad draw to get. But on the other hand, they are not going to be idiots. They're quite tough. I mean,
with the exception of Ibrahimovic, they're in a similar position to City. That as a team, they don't really have that European experience.
No, they don't. And they've got Laurent Blanc as the manager, which is always an advantage for us because he's rubbish.
Him and Cavani are a very good player.
Cavani, good player. Yeah. Ibrahimovic. Can we have a look at Ibrahimovic again? I just want to see how big his nose is. It's a shame I picked a picture. I could have put one on the side profile. If ever there was a man more suited to play for a French team because of his Gallic nose, it is Ibrahimovic.
There's that clip of Joey Barton taking the mickey out of him as well.
He's got a huge conk, mate, I tell you.
I haven't seen Joe Biden do it, but he's so overrated. Ibrahimovic. He's
rubbish. He very rarely does anything over here, apart from that. I mean, the only time he's played decently against an English team was that game against England.
Yeah. When he did the overhead kick. Yeah, he isn't. He was rubbish. When he played against Man United, he was rubbish. He's always rubbish. I can't believe when Eto'o...
Say what you mean. Say what you mean.
That was such a great swap when Eto'o went one way and Ibrahimovic went the other. What were they thinking?
Mourinho will have a plan with how to deal with him and
Cahill. Stick Cahill on him. Yeah. You know, Cahill owes him for that.
More likely to be Louise, isn't it, running around kicking him from a defensive
Well, yeah, there is that. I'm going to sneeze.
Can we get someone to do it?
There you go. That's my first live sneeze on the Chelsea FanCast. I hope you enjoyed it. Ever, yeah.
Really?
I farted a few times.
It's a good record.
I farted a few times.
We know that, but we just don't let on.
We've only been live for 6 months because it wasn't live before then, so it was first live sneeze.
It was live on Mixer, wasn't it?
Oh, that's true.
It was live on Mixer. Anyway, look, it is going to be tough, I think, but I have faith in Mourinho. Do you think we're going to do it, Pablo?
Yeah, I think we've got to be favourites for it. I'm not overly worried. I'd be much more worried with
be nice to get to a semi-final, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice to get to semi-final.
From a monetary point of view,
we've reached. You realise that we've reached the budgetary criterion. Chelsea budget every year to get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So Ronnie Gawley's happy. There you go.
That's to do with financial fair play. We've satisfied those
their budget that they have.
They get that amount of money.
No, they just budget for it.
Sorry, you say so.
I was just say Pascal Pole saying that Cahill will keep him quiet. Nicky Kilduff says not having Matic is massive.
Yeah, it is.
Clive Lewis says, pity Matic is cup tied. Davy says, I know how PSG plays and Chelsea need a strong midfield. And then there's some nice ones about what we do. Pablo brilliant before the game. They love the banners. There's a good atmosphere. The banners are absolutely fantastic. There's a few more I could
Great stuff. Well, there you go.
It's
a real shame that I couldn't be there, but well done to those who were, because it sounded like a rocking old night. And I'm thankfully I found enough money to get to. I've got my PSG ticket for the home leg this week, today, so I'm really happy.
I was told I might not get one.
After the break, we are going to be doing some special old Galatasaray fannies. See you in a minute.
And the home.